What's going on, everyone? How are you doing today? It's Angry Roleplayer once again, and I want to talk about Thorns of the Invoker and how the build changed in the upcoming patch. So there are two main changes to the Thorns of the Invoker set. First of all, the 2-piece bonus has been increased by 4 times, and the 6-piece bonus has been increased by 7 times. What it means for the actual build. In the past, we were able to smash both trash mobs and elite mobs, and it was pretty much the same shit and the same speed. But right now, the build kind of shifted more towards elite killing and single target. I don't think that honestly that is a correct direction, simply because it's very elite oriented build right now. It's like maybe 80% or elite oriented build right now. It's like elite hunting build right now. And I think that developers really overbuffed the 6-piece bonus, but the 2-piece bonus is kind of left in the dust. It's still pretty weak. 4 times the buff of Thorns stack is not enough to keep trash dying. And the problem with really high rifts is that in Great Rift 100, white mobs still have health in fucking trillions. And since the 6-piece has been buffed by 7 times and the 2-piece by 4 times, unfortunately, with the difference in health between the elite and trash mobs, it's not really that critical. That's why we are basically killing elites in 10 seconds, and it takes the same amount of time to kill trash mobs. That's why we cannot really waste time killing trash mobs. The only way we kill trash mobs is when we actually fight the fucking elites, and no other way, because killing just trash bags is a complete waste of time now. This is like the biggest change that is upcoming for the Thorns of the Invoker. Invoker becoming the elite killer right now. So what are the changes comparing to the old setup? The old setup used hack plus the Vatoya Spiker and the Acros champion in the cube here. Also the old setup used hold your ground passive. The new setup uses Peak Sticker as the weapon, Acros Champion Acros Awakening equipped, and the Blood Bar in the cube. We also drop Hold Your Ground for Fanaticism. I think these changes are very good, and I explain why. First of all, Hold Your Ground is 30% increased block chance. Blood Brother gives us this 20% block chance, but also gives us 30% additional damage when we block. And this is very good, this is increased damage here. And Fanaticism at the same time gives us 15% increased attack speed for the Punish. And 15% attack speed basically translates into 50% more damage, since we are mostly an elite killer now. And it basically allows us to kill elite faster and faster. And this is another reason why the build is now very attack speed hungry. Attack speed is really good now for the build itself. I played Great Rift 100 with the setup, and I know attack speed is very good everywhere. So, Blood Brother in the cube and Fanaticism instead of Hold Your Ground. Another big change that I think we will see pretty much very often in this build is Peak Sticker is a little better now than hack, and for a good reason. Peak Sticker is still a 6-stat stick here that can roll 6 stats, and overall is just quite effective at like very low effort, I must say, because you know getting very good hack is very problematic. You need life on hit, you need cooldown reduction on your hack, and also you need very good legendary base with up to close as much as possible Thorns roll on the legendary power of hack. And Peak Sticker drops more often, it is more affordable, it has faster base attack speed, and it also rolls with secondary 30% more damage to beasts and humans potentially. And this is mostly all Reef Guardians there. They are the beasts and other shit. So hack is faster for dispatching elites than, or Peak Sticker is faster than hack for dispatching elites. And like I said, since the build itself is shifted towards the single target damage more or less, unfortunately Peak Sticker is a much affordable option now. But there is one slight problem. We need still to kill trash somewhat, and this is where area damage is still decent for the build. and this is why hack is still an option. And in fact, one of the highest clears there that Jay did, he still did with a hack, and he cleared 107, which is fucking insane pretty much for his Paragon and his gear, and he did it with hack and V2.0 spiker. So the old, absolutely the same old setup, except he also dropped hold your ground from fanaticism. This is it. But this is basically the same shit as before, and at 10 great rifts higher. So do not just delete your hacks from your stash. It's still there, it's still good. It's just not as effective as before, I believe. But I will give you also one example. I cleared every elite pack and every champion pack in the rift, in one rift, and I made it to the end of the rift, and I was 97%, and I made it to the end, and I still didn't make 100%. So I hate to trace back and kill some fat trash mobs just to fill the progress bar. So you still need to kill trash mobs. This is important to understand. And while Peak Seeker is exceptionally strong against single target, is exceptionally weak against trash mobs. And hack, with especially V2.0 spiker, is exceptionally good against trash mobs. That's why the old setup is still viable, but I believe if you are more towards easier gear setup, and more like effectively gear, you may just set on this Peak Seeker, Accurate's Awakening, and the Blood Brother in the cube. This is a very effective setup. I also a big fan of Decaying Strength. That's why I use it against a Loss of Will or Invincible. Invincible is extremely powerful, but Loss of Will, Justice, Decaying Strength just give me so much toughness that I cannot get rid of it. I personally a big fan of this skill. Although on the top of the leaderboards you will see like the highest great rift clear is 110 right now, and it still uses Invincible here for recovery and attack speed as well. So let me summarize what are the changes now for you. First of all, the more affordable setup is Blood Brother in the cube, Peak Seeker equipped, and Accurate's Awakening shield. Drop Hold Your Ground for fanaticism and use Decaying Strength, Lot of Justice if you feel you're very squishy. Also, you can fit both diamonds and rubies in the chest and pants if you feel like you have the damage here. And this is it. It's basically the same. Go hunt your elites, Nephilim. Thanks for watching and see you soon.